Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the fourth pair. My name's Alec. I'm here with my good friend Sam. Me and Sam, say hi to the people.
What's up, people?
Yeah, so we just want to start out this episode and address something. It's a very pressing issue. So if you haven't been taking our picks, you should probably start doing that now.
You're
So let
fucking dumb.
yeah, so let me just run through this real quick. Sam is 23, 13, and 2 since he's been giving out these NHL picks.
And that's not big like favorites either. I refuse to take a money line above minus 160. So most of that's under that, and a lot of plus money in that too.
So
Even,
it's
and you'll
hard to
find
like
out more with
yeah.
the picks later.
So like it's hard to equate it to like a unit, but you'd be up big if you even if you're putting $5 on each bet.
Probably be up about 8 to 10 units on that record.
And then if you mosey on down to my record, I don't take as many bets, but when I do, they're freaking slammers. I'm 12-7 and I'm 1-0 in parlays. Uh and
That was
let's
the
not
Cali Boys parlay too. That
yeah,
was like a
let's not
plus
forget
five
that
hundred.
was the Cali Boys parlay, the Kings and the Ducks at plus 500, and also let's not forget my legendary exact score pick that was plus 1,000. So
Yeah,
if you
that
guys
was
haven't,
only in the second episode too. Like came
yeah.
came out hot.
So if you guys haven't been, taking our picks or reading my lovely friend Sam's blog posts on Twitter, make sure you check it out. Because I don't know anyone that hates free money, so you might as well just check it out and ride with the boys.
Yeah, been on fire, especially on the podcast picks. Both of us, like I feel like we're consistently with these picks that we put on this here podcast. It's going, we're hitting like one of us goes undefeated, the other one goes like 2-1. So
Yeah, so I haven't been too good on the blog picks. I think I'm still kind of like figuring it out.
I got you in five and
Um,
four on those,
but
but
on
it's
the
still positive.
podcast, I average maybe one loss every week.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're winning more than you're losing, I would consider that winning. Yeah.
That would be winning.
Um, so Sam, I believe we have some things to address here.
Yes,
First
we
off,
do.
we're gonna take it out to Utah, right?
No, like so that's you're the third person I've talked to in the last 2 days that's like thoughts in Utah. Lake Tahoe is on the border of Nevada and California. Like literally the body of water is split almost down the middle. And that's where the lake is. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure they're playing on the
Are you
California
serious?
side, but I'm not positive.
I could have sworn it was in Utah.
No, like that's Salt Lake. That's Salt Lake. That's in Utah. There's probably another lake in there too, but Lake Tahoe, where they're playing, is on the border of Nevada and California. Now, I think they're on the California side, but I'm not positive. I'm not a big expert on the geography of that
Well,
area.
learn something new every day. Anyway, um, I love the idea. At first, when they came out with it, I thought it was going to be on the actual lake, and I was like, "Wow, how are they going to make that work?" Um, but it's not. It was right next to the lake, super scenic. I loved the idea. It looked great. They were wearing those incredible reverse retros. Vegas had those kind of cool red jerseys. What do you think about those jerseys?
I like the Vegas alternate. Obviously, there's no like retro for Vegas because they've been a team for 3 years, but they've been a wagon for 3 years too. So do whatever you want. But oh my god, those Colorado reverse
Oh, the
retros.
Nordiques. Ooh,
Woo,
those are icy.
those are great.
They're too icy. I'm a glacier boy. But so they didn't end up finishing. So the game started at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And they had
And
to
that's noon in
delay it.
California for those keeping track, where the sun is at its peak.
Yeah, so they had to delay it due to I think it was too much sunlight in the goalkeeper's eyes, if I'm
No,
correct.
they were maybe that was what they said, but they were skating on slush.
Yeah, that too.
It was
Um,
terrible. Like they're like when they were like looking at the ice in between the first second period, they were looking at these two guys like just going at this one spot, and it looked like it was like literally they took a brick out of the ice, and that was what was missing. And like the Zamboni can't fix that. Like that's not what the Zamboni's getting
yeah.
just little ice, little skate carvings here and there, little chips here and there, no big deal. But yeah, like that was a big issue of player safety. Like you look at like that first period, you got guys slipping all over the place, especially around center ice. Like guys, great skaters are losing their footing like on what would be maybe odd man rushes and stuff, which it changes the game really. And then
Yeah, and it's honestly
so
crazy that they would postpone it because, like, normally NHL player safety doesn't care about the players, because the NHL player safety is a bunch of scumbags that don't know how to do their job. But I've ranted about that enough on past episodes. But it was
and
really
we will do it
cool.
again too.
And they ended up resuming play at midnight. I had fallen asleep before that, so I was unable to watch the remainder of the game. But I'm sure it looked really good under those field lights, right?
It looked awesome under the lights. Like I took a nice midday nap because I was also looking forward to watching the Australian Open final at 3:30 a.m. Lost money there, but that's a different story. It looks pretty cool. Like you got like the shadows everywhere. Like the lights are coming down. It looked pretty good, and like the ice looked significantly better. I mean, Nathan McKinnon put on another class goal from him. Believe it was Shea Theodore had himself one of the best goals I've seen this season with a little
Yeah.
spin around from behind the net.
He's also a great player too.
No, he is also a phenomenal player.
But
Still, 3 years too late. Shout
so,
out to the GM of Vegas for getting that team together. But,
yeah, and I believe as we speak, the puck is dropping again on Lake Tahoe for Philadelphia Flyers against the Bruins.
Yep, Flyers Bruins. I was gonna take
So
Flyers money line before I saw that four or six like big players are out. So
yeah, so that'll be exciting. I'm excited to get back into that. Um, but yeah, so Lake Tahoe is a fantastic idea, but we have some more important issues to talk about right now. It goes by the name of Conor McJesus. Sam, if you'd like to start us off on that.
yeah, so I don't know if y'all saw the Battle of Alberta come Saturday night, but oh my goodness, Connor McDavid had himself one of his best games of his career, and that is really, really saying something. Like the alleys that he's able to find for like passing lanes that no other person in the league would even think about doing. He's not only trying it, he's threading the needle and getting these goals on net. Like literally, if you're on his line, just keep your stick on the ice near the goal, and I'm sure he'll find the angle that wherever your stick's at will bounce off and just go in the net. If
Yeah.
you're just keeping it there, he'll find the angle. Don't worry about that. And also, he's got such a quick and incredible shot. Like, did you see his first goal of his three? He had 5 points on Saturday night, 3 goals and 2 assists. He's skating down the right side. He's looking toward the middle, and without breaking eye contact, I think it was Draisaitl in the middle. This little snapshot under the arm of Markstrom, and he's in a league of his own.
Yeah. I
Like
know that
I,
term kind of gets thrown around a lot where he's in a league of his own, but
yeah, they say like
NBCSN
generational too much too.
NBCSN needs to drop what they're doing right now and find a way to get Connor McDavid on prime time every single time the Oilers are playing. There's
Yeah, like
no reason a 13-year-old kid on the East Coast loves hockey. Why does he have to stay up past his bedtime to watch the best current player in the league?
well, that's more a
What?
geography thing, but
I'm just saying.
I'm saying, like, especially with this, if they're ever in Toronto or Montreal or Ottawa, at least the first two, because those are going to be elite. I feel like if they're going, first Toronto, they're going to try to at least because you got
Mhm.
that nice narrative of, oh, Matthews versus McDavid, who do you want? Which I think is a stupid argument.
But we need more Connor McDavid in our lives, and I feel like we're not getting enough of it. I don't know. I'm I'm not even like an Oilers fan. I enjoy Connor McDavid,
You
but
like watching hockey, and I'm sure if like people were just like scrolling through channels and saw like, oh, there's a hockey game on tonight, like on NBC, let's watch it, and they see what Connor McDavid can do,
yeah,
that would grow the game so much. It's like there's a fucking reason that the NHL is 4 out of 4 when it comes to the four major sports teams.
Did you
Like
know?
it's
So
because they don't want to like how does he want to grow the game, but they're not doing anything enough to do it. Like Connor McDavid makes 12 million a year, I think, and he's the highest paid player in the league or up there. Like he's making
close.
like eighth guy off the bench numbers in the NBA. So
Yeah, he's
like
close.
it's
Actually,
absurd.
the highest paid player is Austin Matthews. I believe he gets 15.6 a year. I know Panarin's up there with like 11.
Panarin makes 11. I think Connor makes either like between 10 and 12. Marner's up there too. But yeah, I think the highest is like 13 or 14 mil a year, which
That was just such a
is
good point though that you made, where it could turn a casual fan into someone that picks a favorite team, buys a jersey,
exactly like, oh,
goes out of their way to watch hockey, you know?
like that's how I kind of got into hockey. Like, cause I mean, I was lucky enough to like, have a good local channel for the Rangers. Just watching Yager was when I really started watching hockey.
Yeah.
Was when he was with the Rangers and just seeing what he can do in the ice. Like, oh, this is awesome. Like, I tried hockey, didn't like it because I was kind of a little bitch growing up. Didn't like quit football, quit that. Like, I didn't like contact until like, I kind of grew up a little bit. Junior year of high school, hop back into lacrosse, but um, I wish I stuck with hockey, but um, yeah, just that's following any sport really. Like just if you can find someone who you will go out of your way to
Superstar.
watch, a
A
superstar.
superstar. Yeah.
Like same thing when I became like an Arsenal fan for come to English football. Like grew up watching Thierry Henry, and that's the reason I watched that. Like it could be the same for kids in Ohio or not. Ohio has a team, but like
But like just think about it. Like there's people that don't love basketball. They don't have a favorite team, but they'll watch any team that LeBron James is
yeah,
on.
you become not a fan of a team but a player, even if that's the
Yeah.
case. Because I am praying that Connor McDavid gets his ass out of Edmonton, like the same way Gretzky I got traded to LA. Get him in a big market, at least a big. I mean, it's a big hockey market, Edmonton in Canada. Not come the rest of the United, or not the rest of the United States, not in the United States, but the United States. Like I would probably ask, 100 people. I think five of them could point at Edmonton on a map.
Yeah. But speaking of superstar players that, get people into hockey that are just, generational. Um Connor McDavid scored his 500th point the other night, which tied Sidney Crosby for the fastest active player to reach
I think it
500
was
points.
about seventh or eighth all time, but like no one that's been like a big player since 2000. Like it's like Gretzky, Lemieux, Peter Stastny. I think are the top three.
Gretzky did it in like 280 games or something
No, it was
ridiculous.
230. Because I know it was more than a 2 point average for him.
I mean, no one's ever going to be as good as him, but the fact that McDavid did it just as fast as Crosby, that just proves how good of a player he is. And I just want to say that he technically did it faster than Crosby. He did it, I believe, 3 minutes into the first period, and I don't think Crosby got it until the second period. So
Yeah, so
kind of,
Crosby's a bum.
now I'm gonna read off a few of these comparisons that I found online. I believe it was Sports Illustrated.
And these are
These are
it's McDavid
comparisons.
now and Crosby at what point McDavid's at,
Yeah,
correct?
so hypothetically, McDavid and Crosby are the same age right now.
Mm-hmm.
They both have one
Damn.
Hart Trophy. Makes sense. McDavid has two Ted Lindsay Awards. Crosby has one. Ted Lindsay is most points. Or no.
No,
It's
that's Art Ross. Ted Lindsay is
the Hart,
is
but
essentially the
voted
heart,
by
but
the
voted by the
players.
players.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Stanley Cups. Crosby had one. McDavid still has none because he's in Edmonton still.
Yeah, that
And then
organization is a dumpster fire.
the last stat that I actually want to point on is playoff games. Not only did Crosby win a cup pretty early, but he has 49 total playoff games at Conor McDavid's age, where McDavid only has 13. So that just says something how good McDavid is, but his support staff just isn't quite there yet.
Yeah, I think it's definitely not knocking McDavid because you watch this guy, and if he's especially if he's on, he's in a league of his own. Like you can argue this and that about other guys in the league. Like the only guy I think who can come even a little bit close is Nathan McKinnon. Just
Mm.
the fact of just look at his skating in general. He is significantly faster than any single person on the ice, and put that with the probably the best hands in the league. Like he can make passes no one even thinks about. He has a deadly shot too. Like don't let him. Like Wayne Gretzky had a quote a few weeks ago, like kind of praising Leon Draisaitl, like how he's just a natural goal scorer, whereas Wayne and Connor had to like earn their goals. Don't sleep on Connor McDavid as a goal scorer at
No,
all. Like if
no,
he
definitely
wanted
not.
to, he could put up 70 goals and not 70, maybe like 50 goals in a normal season.
Kind of the way
Which honestly, which what Austin Matthews will do this season. I
he's
think
going to,
Matthews will
yeah.
score 50, and I will guarantee it right now. McDavid cracks 100 points if he stays healthy.
The way I see it is McDavid kind of plays like it's NHL 21. Like he just skates by people and scores.
Yeah,
Like
he's
it's a
put the
video.
difficulty down to rookie.
Yeah.
Just like put your speed all the way up. You're just blowing by guys. It's absurd.
Um, but speaking of Connor McDavid, who was actually the youngest NHL captain,
Was
someone else just took his place over in our home state of New Jersey. Nico Heischer just was declared captain of the New Jersey Devils probably like 5 hours ago, right before their game. It was also his first game back.
yeah.
Sam, do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I feel like New Jersey kind of had to be sitting on that. I feel like maybe even like the team knew about it. Like, hey, once Nico's back, he's getting to see. At least a few guys at least had to have known. But yeah, it's very well deserved. You know, Nico Hischier has definitely been a stud since he stepped into the league. You know, obviously took a little bit to get going. You know, he wasn't like people are expecting the number one picks to be like McDavid and Matthews right off the bat, where that's really not the case.
They're just special
But
scenarios.
stop calling guys bust when they're
Yeah.
freaking 18, 19 years old, Alec.
Are you subtweeting me?
I'm no, I'm not subtweeting. I'm going after you. Like I'm adding you, bro. Like you see Lafreniere's goal the other night. He had like from Panarin
Yeah,
had a
from
nice
Panarin,
little
yeah.
hey, how are you now? Little backhand or front hand backhand and that. The guy's got talent. You gotta let him like get the chemistry with the lines, get their footing even for, especially when it comes to overseas guys like Capo Caco, like Rasmus Dahlin a few years ago for Buffalo. They're coming
Like
from like
Nico
Finland,
Hischier.
where yeah, exactly. They're coming from places where they play in bigger ice. Like there's significantly more room to move around and like all that. So it definitely takes time to adjust to the NHL. Like you're getting I don't know how probably call it 15% less ice in general, like surface area.
Yeah, so
So
I totally saw it coming, but to say I saw it coming now completely blew me out of the water. I was expecting Nico like maybe next year, the year after, but when when I saw the Devils tweet that he was the new captain, I was pretty shook. Everyone knew he was going to be next captain, but I don't think anyone expected for it to happen today
well, I
or
kind of
yesterday
hope
when
that
you're listening.
I kind of hope the Rangers take a page of their book and like don't fucking sit on a captain for 3 years.
Yeah.
Like it's at some point you have to give someone the seat. Like the last captain for the Rangers was Ryan McDonough, and he was traded 2 years ago.
Well, didn't
Like
the Leafs take a long time to name a new captain, and then they took the traitor Tavares, named him captain?
oh my god, none of that trader bullshit.
For all
Like
you Islanders
I
fans
give
out
no,
there.
I do not blame John Tavares enough to
Neither
for
do I.
wanting to
I
get the
mean,
fuck out of Long Island.
poverty franchise.
Yeah,
I'm
dog
kidding.
shit franchise. Like Matt Barzell, if you see this, get out as soon as you can
But yeah, I'm
because they're
really
not doing
happy for
shit there.
Nico. really happy for Nico. Because he was a first round pick. He
He
was
was the number one
in his
overall pick.
first year. He didn't go into any minor league teams to develop. He was thrown right into the mix.
It's going to happen when you're first
And
overall pick.
he's grown, he's gained weight, he's gained IQ, and he just looks light years ahead of what he looked like when he first stepped into the league. And I just think he's super deserving of that C, and I'm really happy for him.
I am too. He looks incredible. Like remember at the time I was living with two Devils fans. One fellow Caps on Sports member Nick Tobias, and then and another buddy of ours, Sean. We were living together, and then during the time of the draft, it was like, "Hey, who are you guys gonna take?" And Sean especially was thinking Nolan Patrick was the guy, but then Keisha came up like, "Oh shit, what happened here?" And then it turned out to be a great pick because Patrick can't stay on the ice. He's looking good when he's there, but the best skill to have is availability. So
Okay, so
and that just real quick, but that just leaves two teams without a captain. That's Ottawa and the New York Rangers.
Ottawa. And
Like
hypothetically here, if you were to name a captain right now, who would it be for the Rangers?
So going into the season, I was like, give Mika Zibanejad the captaincy. I'm not as hyped about that anymore. He scored an empty net goal the other night. I'm hoping maybe it gets a monkey off his back. He gets back to his goal scoring ways, but I'm giving it to Panarin.
I was gonna say I don't.
This season, especially, like he has shown such great leadership, especially with Lafreniere. Like he's had a few nights in the same line. You always see him talking to him. You always like, especially these past two games where they came back and beat the Flyers and then they beat up the Caps again. These two games were what really said, all right, Panarin, he took less money to be here than he had with the Islanders. He wants to be here, and he's the best player on the team, and he's also proven that he has the leadership to do it. Just give him the C already.
Yeah. I was gonna say I don't think Mika Zibanejad. He's good, but being a captain is more than just being good. You know.
No, but like Mika has that leadership as well. Like you saw it last year, especially, but he's struggling a little bit. But even like Pavel Buchnevich actually posted a Instagram story of like him giving Mika a hug after the goal, and it was just like a picture of a monkey, and then like the monkey off his back for getting scored in a while. So, I mean, if Zibanejad especially gets going, holy shit!
Yeah, like
look out, boys!
I've been saying it since day one. The Rangers are a streaky team.
Yeah, but I've talked too much about the Rangers on this podcast. Yeah. We should probably branch out a little bit.
So let me use this very awkward segue to go into a segment that I actually came up with the other day. And this, let me tell you, I think I need someone to get me into the door with an NHL executive or something like that. So typically, when teams are tied, right, the tiebreaker goes to point differential.
This is end of the season tying.
Yes, like, yes.
You know, for points wise for a playoff spot.
When it comes to getting into the playoffs. So if the Devils and the Bruins both have the same amount of points, how do they decide who gets into the playoffs? Point differential. I think that's boring. I think it's quite monotonous even. So I'm proposing a new tiebreaker. Ooh. Sam, are you ready to hear this?
A new tiebreaker for...
I would like to propose that a new tiebreaker when teams are tied at the end of the year is a fight to the death between the two mascots.
So okay. I like where this is going.
So I have a few hypotheticals here for you based on current standings and points. Let me look here. Okay, so right now, the Dallas Stars are tied with the Nashville Predators in terms of points. The Predators have a mascot named, it's like Grush, I think. Oh no, it's Nash, Gnash, Nashville, and he's a predator, right? The Stars have a furry alien. Who do you think would win in a fight to the death?
Give me 1 second. I have Nash. Let me get Green Victor E. Green. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So being that Dallas's mascot kind of looks like the a more sane version of Gritty. And we got Nash over here. He's like a saber-toothed tiger, so I'm going with Nash. Just he's got those fangs. He's got the tenacity. I'm assuming Sabretooth were kind of a little aggressive. I don't know.
Yeah,
I wasn't there. I wasn't there, so
So if my proposal was accepted by the NHL, that would mean the Predators would get the playoff bid over the Stars. Okay. So I just have two more scenarios for you.
all right. Mascot fights. Let's do it.
So there's another tie out west, banging out west. No Young Thug. The Minnesota Wild and the San Jose Sharks are tied in points. The Wild have Nordy the Bear, and then the Sharks have a shark.
What kind of shark?
The one that resides in San Jose.
All right, I need to know what shark it is. I'm looking up right now. Or give me 1 sec. Let me get a picture of him. That looks like a not very aggressive shark, but
Yeah.
I go back to one of the top comedy films of this century, if not
Don't
all
say
time.
other guys.
I'm going to say the other guys.
Oh man.
Like, I know it's instead of a lion and a tuna, we now have a bear and a shark. A bear swims out to the ocean, and a shark is. But sharks are more lone wolves, or loners more than tuna. So that shark in the water would tear the shit out of a swimming bear, but obviously put it on land, probably the bear wins. So, in this fight, I think it's on land. So we're going with the bear and from Minnesota.
Already. So that means Minnesota would get the playoff bid over the San Jose Sharks.
They deserve it too. They're probably better.
And now this is the toughest
one.
hypothetical that I have prepared for you. It's a three-way tie out in the East. So first off, we have
goodness,
New York Islanders. They have Sparky the Dragon. The Pittsburgh Penguins, they have a penguin. And possibly the strongest, most indestructible, Philadelphia has Gritty. Is that even a question right there?
You think Gritty's gonna lose his fight?
Gritty's the kind of guy that will try and sell you Coke in a dive bar.
Gritty would defeat Thanos by himself.
Gritty is Thanos. Thanos snapped his fingers and he disappeared, and then Gritty teabagged him.
Yeah. But yeah, obviously Gritty's winning that matchup. I think the Dragon tears apart the Penguin like right off the bat. But regardless, it's just Gritty just sitting there, just with his googly eyes, sitting in his chair like he's fucking Scarface, just waiting for him. And then bang.
Gritty goes.
Gritty wins.
Why don't you come to me on the day of my daughter's wedding? And they just.
And then bang, whoever it is.
I don't even know how Gritty would kill them, but he would kill them. Like instantly. Because the Islanders are boring. They're just going to play defense.
Ew, so defense.
Maybe the Penguin would kill Sparky the Dragon, but Gritty would just be waiting for his turn.
Regardless of who wins, Gritty wins. Gritty wins pretty much any battle between.
Yeah. All right. Do you think we could take a quick 5-second break for me to pee?
I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah. All right.
All right, Sticky. We just got out of our pee break. We're going to be starting up in 3, 2, 1. All right, so I guess we'll move on to some stock market stuff. We've done this before a few weeks ago. We're going to do it again here. All right, Alec, any teams that are on your radar?
I actually have a couple teams on my radar. Starting out, I would like to mention the Edmonton Oilers. They're on a 3-game win streak, and in the last 10 games, they're 8-2.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
And I know we've glucked on Connor McDavid enough already on this episode, but they're just firing on all cylinders, and now they're number 2 in the North Division. They've surpassed the Montreal Canadiens, who have been trending down, and I believe Winnipeg is also in the mix. So
Yeah, like the big thing with Edmonton, it looks like the supporting cast is like doing enough. Like, uh, I think it was about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks ago, the Oilers won their first game since 2017, where McDavid or Draisaitl did not record a point.
which is ridiculous
That's one of the dumbest stats I've ever heard in my entire life. I
because
love stats. I love looking at these like crazy stats, but like 4 years, that's unbelievable.
McDavid was 2015, right?
And McDavid was drafted #1 overall in the 2015 draft.
That's just bonkers, dude. To be honest,
Yeah,
that's
that
that's
unbelievable.
almost 4 years that they've gone without
Yeah,
one of two players getting an assist, a secondary assist, or a goal. Think about that.
it's ridiculous, but that was honestly kind of a maybe a little like, hey, we're ready to compete now. Like the guys behind you can at least hold their own. But come playoff time, stars got to be stars.
Yeah, definitely.
So
But
that's
in
gonna be a
all
very
fairness,
curious. I'm now hoping so bad that we get whether it's the first round or the Northern Division final, I guess, because kind of got your own little mini brackets every division before the conference for what would be the conference finals. I hope one of those series is Toronto versus Edmonton,
oh, that would just be
just to see Matthews versus
electric.
McDavid. Like every NHL writer is gonna lose their mind, like seeing these two guys. It's these two guys are the future of the
They
NHL.
are the future because Ovi's getting kind of old now. He's
So
still just
even
finishing.
Crosby too, like he's still got a few years left, but he's we're
Like
gonna
they're
start
still good.
seeing at some
Yeah,
point they're gonna fall off a little bit.
but like they've done what they've needed to do.
Hmm.
They're still producing, but like
But they have nothing to prove.
they're not in the spotlight anymore. Like
Yeah.
these are like the new generation. You
Hmm.
know, so freaking McDavid, Matthews, all these guys, they're the new generation of superstars that we're about to witness. It's the same
Hmm.
thing as how like Aaron Rodgers, Ben Roethlisberger, they're all getting old, and there's a new wave of quarterbacks in the NFL
You
coming
got
in,
the
taking their place.
Mahomes, Watsons,
Yeah. And it's just at
those
that
guys
point
coming in.
where it's like a weird kind of purgatory, but eventually these old guys are going to retire, and it's going to be this new generation that's the face of a whole
Hmm.
multi-billion-dollar league.
So yeah, it's we're in a very lucky time right now. There's more talent now in NHL than there's ever been.
Yeah, without a doubt.
So I really hope that this league can really grow where it should be and deserves to be, and these guys are getting paid like they should be compared to
Which
other sports.
which actually brings me to my sin bin of the week. If we want to get into the sin bin right now.
Yeah, I guess you can go for. I mean, I had one stonk or a couple stonks, I guess, but
Oh,
we
I
can.
forgot we're on the songs. Okay, okay, go back to that. Sorry, I'm just very heated about this week's sin
Oh
bin.
yeah,
So
no, 100%. I
please
got you. I
give us your
got you.
songs. Yeah.
Yeah, so you got Edmonton trending up. I got a couple teams trending down. First being the Montreal Canadiens. We were big on them to be potential cup contenders, which I still think they have the talent to do so. Like they've lost it like 4 or 5, something like that. But granted, they had played Toronto 3 times or
Yeah.
2 or 3 times,
Yeah.
and Edmonton as well, who's also hot. But at the same time, you're saying that, but like if you want to be a contender, you got to beat these teams.
Yeah.
So
If you want to be the best, you
they're
have to.
definitely they're definitely starting to trend down. I don't think it's time to panic by any means if you're Montreal. Obviously, when it comes to that division, there's no days off. You even saw with Ottawa's on a day off. I mean, ask Toronto. They took a period off and then they screwed themselves.
5 unanswered.
Yeah, and I had a blog post that day. And I'm like, I'm going to take a -1.5, but also I would take a -2.5, -3.5 as well. And we saw that. We don't get what we're talking about here. The 5-1 blown lead, but I digress. Yeah, Montreal definitely is. They are a solid team. They should definitely be one of those 4 teams to make the playoffs in that Northern Division. However, they've been kind of honestly, a little against Toronto and Edmonton. So, they got to prove that they're the elite of the elites by beating up those teams a little bit. And one more team that is not just trending down, they are plummeting, are our defending Western Conference champion Dallas Stars.
Yeah.
They are, I mean, they're not that they're playing like so bad. It's all that matters. They're losing. They're losing games. I'm gonna try to. Let me get their last few games up here.
Do you remember what I said though? First episode.
Oh yeah, I think the hangover is starting to hit them.
I said this break is too short. They're probably still drunk, not hungover, and the hangover is just starting to hit now. And now they're playing like shit.
Yeah, the Stars have lost 5 in a row, and they have lost 7 of 8. And they've dropped to, they're now 6 in their division, just barely hanging on to that 6th spot as well. It's happening. Like, they had a very, very short off season.
Yeah.
And you're starting to see those effects. Like, that team is, and know what it is? Late games, they're like falling apart a little bit. They have leads in the third period. They're gassed. Because this is not a young team. They got some young guys, but like their core is up there. Pavelski, Jamie Benn and Tyler Seguin. They're like, I guess they're big 3 when it comes to, like the more noticeable names.
Even Ben Bishop's getting a little old.
Yeah. Khudobin too. Like whatever goal they have is kind of a fossil. Miro, he's a beast. At 22 years old or something, he's their future. But they're falling apart, and it's definitely wasn't a fluke last year, but NHL definitely has the quickest turnover when it comes to being an elite team to being a bottom feeder. It happens like that. Yeah. Ask San Jose
San Jose, yeah.
I think you said it last week. They're cursed by the hand pass. But yeah, that's a team that has that we thought had so much talent, but they're not there anymore. Same thing with Dallas.
Look at the Kings too. The Kings won a couple cups. Now where are they?
That was one I had actually. I was going to say they are trending upward.
Yeah,
because I mean they still have that core from those 2 cups, which is ridiculous.
Minus Alex Martinez, Kyle Clifford.
I'm talking like the studs there. I'm talking Jeff Carr. I'm talking Drew Doughty and Ante Kopitar.
Yeah,
like
and they still have Quick in goal too.
Is Quick is still? I don't know why I thought it was, but we're like being shit for a few years. You're going to get some picks. So
yeah.
Some of those guys come from. They've won 4 in a row. So, I mean, analytically, they are dog shit, but they're winning games. That's all that matters.
But with this year, who the hell knows? Right?
Like, if the Kings keep this rolling for maybe a week and a half more, they will be in the thick of the conversation for that playoff spot all season. Because that's how quick it is. We're already, like, a quarter, even a third way through the season for certain teams, like with cancellations and whatnot. Some teams have played like 24 games where someone played like 14.
Do you want me to blow your mind right now?
Oh, yes.
The Kings are in 4th place in the West, and they're only 2 points behind the Colorado Avalanche.
Well, how many games? Because Colorado had a few games off.
Colorado has 14 games played. LA has 16.
Oh, that's not even close. I thought it was gonna be like a big difference.
Nope.
Yeah, but hey, this
You
LA
don't
team,
know.
man,
You never
they
know.
got some young guys. Like Quentin Byfield is I haven't seen him much this year. I don't even know what his stats are, but I know that he was a stud back in the his semi pro days or whatever he was doing. So um, LA, they'll be back. That's when it comes to the LAs, the New York, the real New York. We're not talking about fucking those douchebags from Long Island. Yeah, like these big markets, they're not going to stay bad for very long because whether they get the picks, but more often than that, it's the signings and trades they get.
Yeah.
And I would not be
It all comes
surprised
down to
in
the
the
GM, really.
slightest if LA come deadline time, they say, you know what, we might not win it this year, but this guy can give us a chance, and we can at least grow from there. And they go after like
Well,
some guy in the market or something.
let's make a run.
Let's make a run,
Let's
boys,
sign
because
Jack Eichel.
there's no that he's a Ranger. He's my boy.
Yeah. So
Zibanejad, Brett Howden, and a first rounder for Eichel.
those are our picks for the stonk market, the NHL stonk market. Now, Sam, I know you have a pretty heated sin bin this week. Can you please dive into that for me?
Yeah. So this week's sin bin goes to Gary Bettman, the commissioner of the National Hockey League. So obviously we saw the disaster that was the at least the first Lake Tahoe game. They're actually good for them for fixing it and delaying the Flyers Bruins by 4.5 hours. So they play under the lights, and it's not a beating California sun on a sheet of ice. Oh, who would have thought the ice conditions wouldn't be that great? Like these outside games are getting a little too much. Like the Winter Classic, oh great, please play in a fucking cold city because play. I know you guys don't care about player safety, but you should. And these when you're skating on slush, guys tend to slip and can very well get hurt. And just in Gary Bettman in general, I kind of touched on this earlier how they really the NHL just does not want to grow the game. It seems like.
Yeah.
You see the NBA, MLB, NFL just by the contracts you're seeing from every single sport. And the NHL, like the star of the league, is getting like sixth man money in the NBA. They're getting like okay shortstop money in MLB. They're getting running back money in the NFL when they should be getting QB money. These guys deserve more. If you're looking at other sports, these guys deserve just as much as they do. And part of that's got to be on Gary Bettman and how the game is just not grown. They've had opportunities to, but hey, look, what do I know? I'm just like a nice casual fan.
I'm
But I
pretty
want
sure each team's cap.
it's like
Uh,
in the '80s.
yeah, I'm pretty sure. What's it called? The guy for the Padres that just signed that contract. His contract is worth
Fernando Tatis.
his contract's worth more than like three NHL franchises combined. Like,
That can't be right.
dude, his contract was worth like $340 million. And each team in the NHL gets like 84.
Oh well, that's a cap. That's the
Yeah,
cap,
yeah,
not
yeah.
the
That's what I
Okay.
meant. Oh
Oh,
no,
never mind.
not the worth of the team, but yeah.
I was gonna say like, there's no way there's.
But do you see what I mean? Like that's just insane.
I mean, his contract is worth more than the Arizona Coyotes.
Yeah, the Arizona Coyotes are actually the least valuable franchise of all of the big four sports teams.
You want to know how bad the NHL is right now? The MLS is creeping up on the NHL very, very much when it comes to popularity. Which I'm not
Oh
going to knock the
man.
MLS. I actually love the MLS. But know what the MLS is? It's pretty much a JV league compared to Europe.
Yeah.
It's fun, don't get me wrong, but it's like a bunch of like washed up stars from the European leagues and or like, American players who, they're good players, but they're not good. The reason they're playing here, they're not playing out in Italy, out in England, out in Spain.
So yeah, before we get too sidetracked, um, so my sin bin for this week, we're gonna give a 2 minute penalty to the NHL for I haven't thought about what type of penalty yet,
It was it this time because they're always fucking up.
but why are you scheduling all of your games at 7 o'clock? Why am I looking on a Saturday? Why am I looking at the schedule and there's two 12 o'clock games, and then there's eight 7 o'clock games, and then there's one game at 10? Why are you doing that? What the fuck? Only one of those games is on a national televised network.
And that's a
You
12:30 game with the Rangers and Capitals.
Yeah. So why don't you stagger it? Give me some pull with the NHL. I'll fix it all. Okay. We'll have two games at noon. We'll have one game at 2. We'll have two games at 3:30. We'll have a game at 5. We'll have 4 at 7 o'clock because I understand that's prime time.
Yeah,
But then we'll
exactly.
but then we'll have one at 9 and one at 10:30. That way, when people like us are making parlays and shit, every single game we bet on isn't at intermission at the same time. Like, I'm just annoyed that the St. Louis Blues game is at intermission, and I'm like, okay, but I have money on the frickin' Minnesota Wild playing the I don't even know, the Hershey Bears, and I go over to that game and they're at intermission too. NHL, figure it out, because it's really annoying that I have to then flip the channel and watch the NBA, which I just don't enjoy at all.
Yeah, I think like this Gary Bettman and this scheduling team over at the NHL. I think they think every fan has a functional sports bar in their basement with like 10 to 12
Yeah.
screens that can go at any time. Where if you're lucky, you got four.
And
Like
also, let's say there's 8 games on at 7 o'clock, which usually there are. Only like 2 of them are available on NHL Network or like NBC. The
yeah,
other ones are on like Fox Sports Midwest or like
they're all local
NHL
channels. Like there's
Canada. Like, can we please figure it out?
Yeah, you want to grow the game, make more games available at all times. Like especially
That's what
with
I'm
with with
saying.
no fans in a lot of these games. Half the
Yeah.
reason that like games start at 7, 8 o'clock, like 7 o'clock local time for most time zones is because it's enough time for like if you work the average 9 to 5, you get home enough time to get ready and go to the game.
That's yeah,
When
that's what
there's
I'm
no
saying.
fans at like 80% of the arenas, why not play a game at 4 o'clock on a Tuesday? Like what's stopping you? Like, if anything, like people will be more intent to watch at that point. Like, I know when I see a game, like, oh wow, it's Tuesday, it's a 5 o'clock game right now. I'll watch it because it's there.
Like, there's zero reason that when I was at the bar last night, I had to take my phone and listen to the St. Louis Blues radio broadcast over the blasting John Mellencamp music. Okay? Like I'm done, Rant. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I
So
got really
let's
heated.
move on to about a quarter way through the season. You want to do a little award watch here?
Yeah, yeah, I'm very excited about that.
All right,
So
let's
let's start out with the not as important one, but who do you think is currently winning the Vesna?
Yeah, the Vezina is very tough here because there's plenty of goalies that are playing very well, but a bunch of them do not have the workload like some do. So I'm gonna go with Philip Grubauer from the Colorado Avalanche, who's really like taking the big like he's carrying that goaltender. They played 14 games. He's started 12 of them, and he's won 10 of or 9 of them. I'm not sure exact stats, but he leads the NHL in goals allowed per 60 and save percentage among goalies who have played more than 6 games. He's got I think it's a 93% save percentage and a goal allowed average about 1.6.
Wow.
And this is it's a good Colorado team. So granted, you're going to have some solid defense in front of him, but when he's got to stop stuff, he's stopping it. So you know I'm going with Grubauer right now. There's plenty of the guys there that could, if they get a little more workload, maybe I could definitely consider them. But I think right now, Grubauer is the favorite.
It's a respectable pick. I think his stats tend to be inflated because of that front that he has in front of him.
Exactly. That's why I want to see how the season kind of goes a little bit with other
Yeah.
guys.
So my pick actually, um, well, first I would like to say that uh, Auntie Ranta on the Arizona Coyotes, if he had a better front in front of him, he would be a clear Vezina Trophy frontliner.
Former New York
Because
Ranger.
because although he has a 3.63 goals against average, he's still averaging a 902 save percentage.
Yeah,
And
so he's
in
getting
his
like 40 shots a game on him. Like he can't stop everything.
Yeah, and like it's not that he's letting in really easy goals. It's that he's just getting so many shots on goal every single game, and he's still trying to keep his team in the game. There's only so much he could do, you know. But my pick was actually Carey Price. I believe he's in a bit of a slump right now, but I think he's going to pick it up when they make their playoff run. So I think by the time it comes to pick the Vezina Trophy winner, I think Carey Price is going to be right there.
Definitely like that because especially with in that division, if Carey Price of all the goaltenders in that division might have the biggest like spurt ability in the fact that
Yeah.
like if he gets hot, I mean Connor Hellebuck and Jacob Markstrom are both Vezina caliber. I think Hellebuck won as has a Vezina. I think Markstrom
Hellebuck has
does.
been Vezina caliber for like the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, like but yeah, and he's still doing his like normal MO this year. Just other guys I think so far have been more impressive than him. But also that Winnipeg team is starting to get hot, so
Yeah.
don't sleep on them come playoff time either.
And I think we said that last episode too.
Yeah, like they're becoming a I think like they were like the fifth or sixth favorite in that Northern Division, and they are taking no slander. So good for them.
All right. So
Um,
moving on to the younger guys, who do you think's winning the Calder thus far?
there's a few rookies out there playing well, but I'm gonna go with the 20 I think it was a 2017 or 18 draft pick, Kirill Kaprizov of the Minnesota Wild. He's fallen off a little bit from his like red hot start, but he's still looking solid. He leads in its rookies in points. He's 3 goals, 8 assists, 11 points in 14, 15 games played. It's a very good clip for any starter, let alone a rookie. So what I've seen so far, obviously our boy Piss Suter from Chicago, he leads the NHL rookies in goals. He's up there too. But one little plug I put in there. You know who's starting to get a little groove going? Um, Rookie goaltender Igor Shesterkin from the New York Rangers. Um, don't look now, but like he's got about a 91.5 save percentage and like a 2.2 goals allowed average, and he's just getting better and better with each game. So look out now. If the Rangers like they're my entire career, my life watching the Rangers, they're like most of the season, but they have like one just like bang, like it's like
Yeah, big spurt.
they get a point in like 12 straight games. They go like 9-0-3, stuff like that. And I think we might be getting there soon, but right now Kirill Kaprizov from Minnesota is my pick for the
Yeah,
Calder.
that's definitely a good pick. So mine's a little bit more unorthodox. I'm going with Ty Smith of the New Jersey Devils. And let me preface this by saying he hasn't been lights out just yet. He's doing kind of average, you
And
know.
he's
He's
looked
not
pretty good, but you're saying he's got
he,
more room to him. He's got
I'm
plenty of room to
saying he's
improve.
he's not a early standout. He's not one of these headline guys, but I mean, 8 points through 13 games so
As a
far as a
defenseman
rookie.
too.
Yeah. Um I mean, that's just it, those are good numbers. And I think that he has only room to improve, especially as he gets more involved in the system. Maybe he gains a little bit of weight. But I would like to say on a small little tangent that if Jack Hughes was a rookie, he would win it right now.
Well, yeah, but he's in his second year, so
I'm just saying, hypothetically speaking. You dumb Rangers fan.
let's
All right. So
go to the Norris.
yeah, speaking of defensemen, Norris Trophy winner, who you got?
Um, For me, it's not much of a thought. It's Cal McCarr of Colorado. Um, so Colorado they had some COVID issues. They took some time off, so they only played 14 games thus far. McCarr has played 12 of those. In those 12 games, he has 1 goal and 11 assists, including 6 power play assists. Where he,
Wow.
at the time of like Colorado's little break, they had he led the defenseman in points. But what really stands out as well, like he's not only producing points. Plenty of guys are. Quinn Hughes has like 20 points, but his rating is -13. So goals are being scored against him as well. Goals are not being scored very often against Kyle McCarr. He's at a +10 rating. He's been a stud defenseman all year. He's a legit lockdown defenseman and has the skill level of a elite like offensive defenseman as well. He is one of the best skaters I've ever seen. Like he can like juke guys out like he's on a football turf or something like that.
Oh
But he's
yeah,
on skates on the ice.
the one where he broke that guy's ankles.
Yeah, just last night on,
That.
on the new night ice out in Tahoe. But he has been unbelievable. Like I will be the first person to tell you how great Adam Fox is from the New York Rangers. But this Cal McCarr is something else, man. He is. We're gonna be get ready. This guy's gonna be one of the best defensemen of all time come end of his career. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh yeah, Cale McCarr is lights out. But for my Norris Trophy winner, it's you might think it's biased, but let me tell you why it's not biased. Do you have a guess as to who I'm about to pick?
I was Krug, Pareko.
Nope.
I don't.
Preko's been pretty injured. Justin Falk.
I forgot about Justin Falk. Actually,
He is a legitimate Norris Trophy contender, and let me tell you why.
I have no argument.
So when the St. Louis Blues first traded for Justin Falk, I was not that impressed. I was like, you know what? He's getting into a new system. He doesn't really know anyone. It's okay. Like I don't like that he's not playing well, but let's give him some room. This year, he has been lights freaking out, dude. Okay, let me rattle off some stats for you. And the stats don't even do it justice. So through 18 games, he has 8 points, 5 goals, and 3 assists.
Solid numbers.
That's not what's impressive, though. What's impressive is that he has a +17 rating when he's on the ice. Okay, this man is killing penalties. He's on the power play. He's being a quarterback. He's scoring goals. He's everywhere. He's blocking shots. He's diving for pucks, keeping them in the zone. He's assisting. He's doing everything. He's a locker room guy. When Pareko couldn't go on the ice the other night and they gave Justin Falk the C, I damn near had to change my pants, okay? This man is going to if he doesn't win the Norris, he's going to be a top 3 finalist. I will put my pet dog on that.
Honestly, like I kind of like forgot about Falk because like I'm thinking about these big names, but yeah, he has been incredible this season.
And people also forget that the Norris Trophy isn't about the defenseman that scores the most points. It's the best defenseman in the league. He does his part. He scores slightly above average. He's not doing Cale McCarr numbers, but I think he's been a much better defenseman than Cale McCarr so far into the season.
Yeah, that I can't argue with that pick. Honestly, I kind of forgot. I remember like a couple weeks ago, I think I sent you a tweet saying, "Oh, I did not expect Justin Falk to be in the Norris Trophy race like right away."
I don't even think St. Louis Blues fans did either because everyone hated him.
I don't think he knew it.
Everyone since we picked up Justin Falk up until this year, people hated him. I always was upset, but I knew he had more in him, and I'm so excited to see what he's about to do for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I like him. We're gonna say because you kind of believed in him that you're the reason he's doing so well this season. So in his acceptance speech for the Norris Trophy, he better thank you, or we're gonna be very upset.
And I want a signed retro jersey,
exactly.
Not those gross reverse retro ones that are all red.
Those are pretty nice.
Lastly, speaking of most valuable,
yeah. So we gotta do the heart.
Let's hear it.
Do I have to say? Do I have to say it?
Is it Conor McDavid?
It's Conor McDavid.
Okay, because I went with someone else that was above the border, but they're
Yeah,
not.
I don't have to explain it. So you go whoever you think
Okay.
could win it.
Do you have any guesses as to who it might be?
Austin Matthews.
Shut the fuck up.
Was I right?
Yeah.
I mean, he was like looking like he could have been the front runner for about 25 minutes, and then McDavid came out and had 5 points in the Battle of Alberta.
It's just that when Austin Matthews ends the season averaging 2 goals a game, I think it will be unanimous.
So you're saying that Austin Matthews is going to score 112 goals this season?
What did I say last podcast? Did I say he
You
was going
you
to?
said he wouldn't hit 50.
Well, guess what? In the last week, I changed my mind, and I think he's
Yeah,
going to end.
thank you.
I think he's going to end the season with 68.
68 goals
Yes.
in 56 games.
Put it in writing.
You're fucking nuts, but wow, I love it.
You got to be in it to win it, buddy. Put me
Hey,
down.
scared money don't make money. I mean, what's he at right now? He's at, I believe, I think he's at 16 and 16.
He's averaging a goal a game.
I mean, I have a
He's
hard
gonna do
time,
it.
like,
He's
really,
gonna do it.
like, I have a hard time actually coming up with an actual argument against
No,
that,
but you
except
don't.
like, oh, that's so
Also,
many.
no, but also his muzzy is so clean. Not as nice as Justin Falk's muzzy, but it's still pretty nice. If you, I don't know if you've seen Justin Falk recently, but he kind of looks like Ron Jeremy,
Oh boy.
except more toned and nicer lettuce. But anyway, we've been off track for so long. I think we just need to get into the sin. Wait, did we do the sin bin?
Did sin Ben.
Okay, so we just gotta get into the picks now.
Got some picks now.
I think we're running a little late here, so
we don't have a time limit.
it's been about
We're
an
fine.
hour.
No, we're
I know,
fine.
but I got games to watch. I got money on everything.
Yeah, so all right, Alec, do you want to start off with your picks for Monday
Yeah.
night?
Do you have anything on track from the picks that I had last week?
Last week I think I have them right here. If you want to go on to your picks right now, I'll find them.
Yeah, would you mind looking for them, and I'll start to go over my picks for
I
this
have
week.
them written down somewhere. Alec, you went 2-0 last week with a parlay win. So 3-0 with the parlay.
What was the parlay?
The Cali boys.
Oh yes, the Cali Boys parlay, and then the other two picks were
You had the Jets and the Penguins.
Jets played Ottawa, I believe.
I forget.
Okay. Anyway,
Yeah, you had them puck line against Ottawa or someone they won.
already.
Not important. Let's go tomorrow.
So for Monday, we're recording this on Sunday. For Monday, I have, starting us off, the Islanders are playing the Buffalo Sabres. I have under 5.5 goals.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Buffalo just sucks butt. Islanders don't play to score. They just play to win. So I can see like a 2-0, 3-1 kind of score. So I think under 5.5 is a great pick right there.
Mhm.
Moving on, I have the Carolina Hurricanes. Love Carolina. I don't know why, they're just one of my favorite teams for some reason. And they're playing the Tampa Bay Lightning. So that's kind of a ballsy pick. The Canes
Plus
are
money.
they're only plus 106 though. That's basically pick 'em.
Yeah, because they're getting the respect they deserve. Because they're like what they're like 12-2-2 or something.
I think Carolina wins a Stanley Cup in the next 3 years, but that's besides.
Remember our first episode? One of my I had 2 picks for the Stanley Cup, and that was Colorado and Carolina.
But that's besides the fact. So I think Carolina money line is just great value right there. That's probably the riskiest bets of the 3 that I have. And my last pick is the Coyotes of Arizona. They're minus 148 against the Anaheim Cucks.
All right. So I guess I'm going to start it. I'll start it right away with my picks because I actually have the opposite pick of you.
Ooh.
I have the Lightning.
Okay.
The reason being is that the Hurricanes and Lightning played Saturday night with the Hurricanes winning 4-0. And I mean, this is not really, I guess, a eye test. It's more of a system play where, like, if a favorite loses the first game, I'm gonna take him the second game, and I'm gonna take Tampa here. I don't think they lose two in a row to Carolina. Only minus 122 as well. It's like there's still like a hint of value there. I said earlier in this podcast, anything above 160, I'm gonna find some more value there, where it's minus one, minus 1.5, something like that. And then we're gonna move on there. We're gonna stay in the state of Florida, and I'm gonna take the Florida Panthers minus 117 at home against a plummeting Dallas Stars team.
I like that.
Like, that's honestly, I'm very surprised that it's that much value there on Florida. They've been, I mean, that's Central Division. I thought it was gonna be a more weaker division. This is the best division in hockey, I think.
Easily, without a doubt.
Tampa, Carolina, and Florida are three of probably the top 8 teams in the NHL right now, and I'm excited. It's going to be great to see him play so much this season. Even Dallas,
Although,
maybe they can get it going again, but
I would like to counter that though, and say that I think the East is just a little more competitive than the
Mhm.
Central.
I think that the East is top to bottom better, whereas the Central is a little more top heavy.
Mm-hmm.
But so the top of the Central, we'll say, is like incredible. Whereas East, literally 1 through 8 in the East, I think, can make the playoffs at this point, because the Devils have impressed, and Buffalo, I honestly think can still.
Buffalo,
Buffalo, I think, at some point can
yeah,
get hot because they have so much talent there.
yeah, but I
That's
agree with you with the top of the Central. They're one of those teams is winning the Stanley Cup this year.
I could very well see that. And I got one more pick, and we're gonna go with the Vegas Golden Knights at plus 107 against Colorado.
Ooh, a little bounce back game.
Yeah, the little bounce back game. I think these two teams are very evenly matched. I honestly think the overall roster for Vegas is a little better than Colorado, to be honest. I think the Colorado has the better players, like if you rank them, and probably have one, two, maybe even three. But overall, I think Vegas has a more deep team, and
I also feel like
I
they
don't
have
see him. I don't
more
see him losing 3 games
experience.
in a row against Colorado.
I feel like Vegas has more experience as well. Colorado for the most part's a younger team, so
Yeah, so Vegas. I think Colorado's won the last 2 matchups, so I think Vegas bounced back with a win here.
yeah. So
And that's all I got on for my picks.
that just
23,
sounds
13,
like
and 2. I mean, that's not a good record
that
or
sounds like
anything.
6 winners right here. So I hope that
Well, it
everyone
can't
can
it can't be
remember.
6 winners because we have opposite picks in one
Well,
game.
no,
But
because you're gonna reconsider your bet against me,
I
and you're
will
gonna.
not actually. Do you want to make a little friendly wager on that game as well?
You know what? Let's make it a little more than friendly. Let's make it a little aggressive. How about that?
Aggressive. All right.
Yeah.
Do you have anything in mind?
No, not really. Do you have
Yeah,
anything?
we'll have something maybe on TikTok or our Twitters come.
No, no, no. Let's settle this right now, buddy. Since you're so confident.
All right.
Yeah, and
I
we'll
mean, I don't
post
want
it.
to. We do the onion again, but that's more of a.
The Onion's kind of a repeat. How about the loser has to chug a whole bottle of Mag Dog 20? Mad Dog 20.
Well, I got experience with that, so I'm not worried if that happens. But yeah, let's virtually shake on that.
And we'll post it on the talk and on the Caps on Sports Instagram.
There we go. So oh dear goodness,
What team was it again? It was
it was Tampa, Carolina. So I got Tampa, you got Carolina.
and that's
That's tomorrow night
tonight at
or
7
tonight
o'clock.
if you're listening, because it will not be released till Monday.
So the video will be up after the game, honestly. And look out for it, because if we could figure it out, me and Sam are gonna hop on a live stream and watch it together. And you guys could hop in the chat and chat with us. We'll be crushing a few brews, and then at the conclusion of the game, most likely Sam will be slamming a Mad Dog 20.
Yeah. Okay.
And you know what? I'm so confident. It's two. Two of them.
I'm not saying 2 of them.
Okay, fine. Just one.
It's also me looking out for you too. I've chugged a Mad Dog or 2 in my day, and they're not fun.
I didn't go to the school in the South, so I don't have too much experience with it. But anyway, thank you guys as always for tuning in. We are the fourth pair. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. We had a little more fun with this one. Look out for that friendly wager. We'll most likely be going live Monday
I guess
the
tonight.
22nd. It should be today, Monday the 22nd at about 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So look out for us. Sam, what do we follow us on? Take
Yeah,
that part
make
away.
sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at Capson Sports. Make sure to visit our website, www.capsonsports.com. Got some more articles from every sport you can think of. Maybe not every sport you can think of, but plenty of good content on there from the rest of the guys. And for the fourth pair and the rest of Capson Sports, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Peace.